4 weeks in a row, the Cardinals have not shown up offensively. Alex Clancy halftime show. Let's try and work it out, shall we?
You are Locked On Cardinals, your daily Arizona Cardinals podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
I feel like each of the first three times I did this, I could just replay what we talked about last time today. Alex Clancy, Locked On Cardinals. Thanks for hanging out live on Twitter Spaces and YouTube. You know, I'm trying, and I was coming in today. I'm like, you know what? This is the day. This is the day that we're going to see the Cardinals offense click. This is the day that everything's going to work out. This is the day that the Cardinals are going to really take that step that we've been waiting for them to take. And one side of the ball had played their best first half of the season, and it's not close, and it was the defense. 2 turnovers, a stop on 4th and short with Christian McCaffrey running it up the gut. Like, the defense looks good. Zaven Collins looks like he could be a future leader of this team. Budda Baker, Jalen Thompson look good. Trayvon Mullen looks good. Like, they look good. And I know that the Panthers offense is the weakest offense the Cardinals have faced so far. But the Cardinals are doing what they're supposed to be doing on the defensive side of the ball today. And that is a very, very nice and redeeming quality that we can take out of the first half. And I feel like that needs to be highlighted because the Cardinals defense gave the offense multiple chances, 2 times on short fields to put up points. And my buddy Jason Moore from Fantasy Footballers, before the Panthers kicked the field goal right before halftime, he said the Cardinals have scored -4 points in the first half because the touchdown was on a pick six thrown by Kyler Murray. The Cardinals had 7 possessions in the first half. Okay. 3 of them of the 7 made it to 3 minutes. And then the last one, Jalen Thompson interception. It's like, okay, you know what? This is perfect. This is exactly the icing on the cake the Cardinals can use to act as a little bit of momentum going into halftime, going into the locker room, put some points on the board, and then, Carolina gets the ball, get a stop, come back down, take this game over. And the Cardinals are on the field offensively for less than 30 seconds, I think, on that drive. 44 seconds on that drive, which set up the ability for the Panthers to come down and kick a field goal at the end of the half. The Cardinals were inside the 30-yard line on their side of the field. Dumped down to James Conner. 25-yard pass down the sideline that sailed over the receiver's head. If you're going to take a shot, take it on first down. If you're going to take a shot, take it on second down. So when you're in 3rd and short or 3rd and medium, you have a chance to get a first down and elongate the drive instead of going for gold on 3rd down and having to punt. Like, I know that I'm hard on Cliff, and I stand behind everything that I say about Cliff. Kyler Murray looks terrible. And there were a couple plays that were like, okay, well, he threw the beautiful ball to Marquise Brown. Like, that's there. If there's an offensive, if there's a positive for the offense this season, it's that Marquise Brown is going to be a fringe wide receiver 1 for the Cardinals. And you think after a big contract extension after this season, if everything goes to plan, at least for him, we don't know what the rest is going to look like if the Cardinals, don't have a great rest of the season. But if the Cardinals can get out of this game with a victory, they're going to be 2-2. And if the 49ers win Monday night, the entire NFC West will be 2-2. So it could be a lot worse, but treading water can go very quickly from treading water to be submerged in water if the Cardinals don't figure things out quickly. Luckily, Seattle's not great. They got another good victory today. The Rams are struggling a little bit with injuries and otherwise. The 49ers have a new quarterback, so they're struggling. But if this offense continues to play this way, I don't. And so say the offense continues to play this way, and the Cardinals win 6 or 7 games. You give me a reason why Cliff Kingsbury should be the head coach next year. You want that to be avoided because you want stability in the front office and the coaching staff. The only coach that's worth his weight in gold right now is Vance Joseph. And probably Sean Kugler. Jeff Rodgers. But Sean Kugler, people say that this offseason was great for the offensive line. They have the most depth that they've had since Kyler Murray's been drafted. That's fine. Justin Pugh, hurt again. Max Garcia in on the left side. Not ideal. Rodney Hudson, banged up. Was mulling retirement. Not great. Will Hernandez has played fine so far, but Kyler Murray's not getting the time he needs. So what Sean Kugler is doing to elevate the talent he has, what Vance Joseph is doing to elevate the talent he has, is not what Cliff Kingsbury is doing with his side of the ball. And that's the thing that's bothering me. That's the thing that I'm trying to shake everyone and say, this is not okay. He's wasting a top 20 offense. He's wasting it. And with what they've done this offseason, focusing solely on the offense, that's disheartening. And yes, Kyler Murray not playing well. Hasn't played well a lot of this season. He's had moments, obviously the second half of the Rams game, he pretty much put the Cardinals on his back with the help from the defense setting the table. As I mentioned, that's the kind of the metaphor that I use. The defense set the table for the Cardinals to win that game. The defense's job this year is to set the table so the offense can eat. It's not to be the strength of the team. It's to put the tablecloth down and the plates and the silverware and have an eating contest for the offense. That's the job. The offense is supposed to be Joey Chestnut, and the defense is supposed to be the guy that sets the hot dogs up for him. And that's not what's happening right now. Is the season, of course, we've got time. But as I mentioned, treading water to submerging in water could be 1 week in the NFL. It's not easy to win any game in the NFL any week. And the Cardinals are putting added pressure on themselves because the offense has zero cohesion. It has, I mean, it is. It's like, I don't, what did I equate it to? I said last, it's like they're dancing the waltz, very boxy, no fluidity. And we need some jazz. We need some syncopation. Need some freestyle. Need some different things than 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I don't know if that's how the waltz goes, but if it does, something genius. We need to see something. The only redeeming quality we've seen this year from the offense has been Hollywood Brown. And that's great because they traded him for a first-round pick. Cam Thomas, nowhere. Myjai Sanders hasn't played. Trey McBride, first play of the game, catch for a couple yards, that was it. When DeAndre Hopkins comes back, it will get easier. And this offense, as currently constructed, should be performing a lot better than it is. Rondale Moore, you want to see the differentiation between the player and the coach not understanding how to utilize a player. Rondale Moore is the case study. Rondale Moore is probably one of the fastest players in the NBA, in the NFL. He is one of the fastest guys, yet Cliff Kingsbury refuses to use him like he uses Greg Dortch. Use Rondale Moore like Greg Dortch. Rondale Moore is a better version of Greg Dortch in theory. Why not maximize it there? Why not maximize the best tight end to come out of the draft somewhere? Line him up outside. He was lining Zach Ertz up outside. Line Trey McBride up outside. This offense was manicured, catered to since the end of last season. And they look worse than the defense right now, who's pretty much forgotten. And that is what the existential crisis that we're feeling right now is. And if the Cardinals can come out, it's going to take 1 or 2 drives of putting up points to just turn it around. And yes, Kyler Murray looks terrible today. This defense is good. Their best defensive player, Jeremy Chin, hasn't played more than, I think, the first series he got injured. It seems like Kyler Murray's trying to not go full Kyler Murray. And I don't know if that's wanting to keep him in the pocket. I don't know if that's he doesn't want to run. I don't know what it is. But he and the person who's supposed to make him a better quarterback need to figure it the hell out, or the Cardinals are going to win 6 games this year. If they can't beat this Carolina Panthers team, I see a lot of people in the comments, and thanks for hanging out, by the way, everybody. Thank you. I see a lot of fire Cliff. I see a lot of it. I don't think he should be fired yet, even though that's conventional wisdom would think the opposite because of how I tweet during games. I'm just setting the stage for it not being a surprise if it happens. Do I think it's going to happen now? No. Do I think it'll happen if the Cardinals start 3-8 or 3-9? No, because Van Joseph will get fired first. I've said this for anybody that's listened to the Cardinals. Thank you, first of all. Listen to Locked On Cardinals. From the beginning of the offseason, when you start to see the offense is the only side of the ball that's really going to get any sort of attention through free agency in the draft, I said, this is it. Van Joseph is set up to be the scapegoat if things don't work out because he didn't get the contract extension. Cliffy Baby did. Stevie Baby did. Kyler did. It's got to be. It can't be their fault. So with the second half about to start, think about this. The defense job is to set the table, and it's the offense job to eat the food. The offense has been taking the food, throwing it at each other, and then passing out, which is not ideal. Enjoy the second half. I will be here for my instant reaction podcast. I will do it on Twitter Spaces and YouTube live right after the show. Hang with me, will you? Enjoy the second half. Hopefully the Cardinals come out with a W and move to 2-2 and potentially a tie for the NFC West miraculously through 4 weeks. Alex Hentz, Locked On Cardinals.